I'm learning how to have energy on the camera. Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Making Fun. In this episode, I was actually hired by a friend of mine to build a restaurant-style booth in their breakfast nook. This took about 2 months to complete and is definitely one of the biggest projects that I've ever undertaken in my entire life. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please comment about it below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate your support. This is the space that I'm going to be building the Nook, and I'm going to do it around the perimeter of these 3 walls right here. My first step is to build a frame that the bench will be built around. Here I have set the saw height to half the thickness of the wood. I then make multiple cuts along one side of the wood. I can then knock out the remaining pieces. Coming at a 90-degree angle to the blade, I shave down the rest of the lap joint. After all the pieces have been cut, I can then assemble the base of my frame. The face of my lap joint was still a little rough, so I came in with my Japanese rasp and smoothed out the area. If you've never used the Japanese Shinto rasp, I highly recommend it. It is one of my favorite woodworking tools. Here I'm watering down a little bit of glue, and then I'm going to paint that glue on the faces of my lap joints so that when I glue the pieces together, the glue does not get absorbed up into the fibers of the wood. After about 20 minutes and that glue has had a chance to dry, I reassemble my pieces together and pre-drill my holes. Then I come in with a final coat of glue, and then I can begin screwing the base of the frame together. Here I'm measuring the diagonal from point to point across the inside of the base. If those numbers match, that means that my base is square. And now I am gluing and screwing the back support for the first base. After I've made the first base, I then use that as a template to match as I construct my other bases. This way they will all be generally the same shape and same angle. After all the bases were complete, I went to the site and started assembly. And after that, it's all about stitching the bases together with 2x4s. After the bases are all stitched together with 2x4s, I'm coming in with some more that I've cut at 45-degree angles. This creates a nice strong triangle that will hold the base to the frame and also hold the seat down to the frame. To get that old-fashioned farmhouse feel, I'm inserting two 2x2s on the side that's facing out from the nook. First, I notch the ends of each board, cut them, and put them in place. With a pencil, I outline where the two boards will overlap in the center. Then with the table saw, I remove the material and fit them together.
After the frame is secure, it's time to start building the seats. For some of the odd shapes, I used cardboard that I cut out first to make sure that it would fit. After we finished all the nailing, we punched them down with a nail set, and then came in and filled the holes with wood filler. Like the seats, the backs also needed to be custom made.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to pop in here really quickly and remind you, if you want to help us out, please look down in the description box for our links to the Amazon store. If you click through that link and buy anything on Amazon, we get a little taste of the funds that you give them. So this is a really easy way for you to support our show. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the episode.
I decided to make the back corner of the bench curved. This is something I've always wanted to do, but I've never done before. To support the curved wood, I placed a series of tiny blocks along the top and the bottom of the 2x4 frame. This gives me a solid anchor point to nail the curved piece to. I didn't like the look of where the seat board and the back board met, so I cut a series of edging pieces to hide the seam. Now that the majority of the bench is complete, I began constructing the shelf that skirts around between the edge of the bench and the wall. Much like the farmhouse table design in a previous episode, I made the top out of pine after a quick sanding that we then stained with a dark walnut color. I secured the pine boards down with a few finishing nails. I decided not to glue the boards down as I wanted to have the ability to lift the boards back up in case I need to make any repairs later on.
So the top is now complete, and I'm really excited with how this turned out. It looks really nice. The dark walnut stain is a wonderful contrast to the whitewash, which is a contrast that I used before in my farmhouse table video. We'll put a link in the description to that. One thing that I did was I put in this triangular piece that is removable. There's a little hole back here, and we can pop that out, and what we can do now is install a little shelf down here for storage, and also this gives us an opportunity to run a power strip up from the outlet that's down here so that we can have power back here in this corner as well. Again, I'm really excited. This came out better than I imagined, so I'm really, really happy.
Yeah, don't sit on that.
I like it though. It has a good like.
All right, excellent.
Did I just do it in one shot?